Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fabulous Tuesday. Thanks for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. Today we're using a stamp set from Gerda Steiner Designs. This is new to the shop and it is called Hedgehog with Gifts. It is actually perfect for those after Christmas thank you cards. Love this, and that's what we're going to do, make a thank you card with it today. Cute little hedgehogs in here with a couple of presents, and then there is some fun sentiments that you can customize. You have the big thank you, and then you have a couple secondary sentiments to go with it. I'm going to take the hedgehog here along with the present. There's two presents. One has the bow untied. I chose this one. We're going to stamp the hedgehog facing the right, and then we're going to stamp the presents 5 times with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I'm going to color in my images with Copic markers. So after I have them all stamped, I am going to play a little bit of music for you. I left the caps out, but sometimes my camera gets a little blurry, but I'll list them also in the top corner for you guys. But while I color, I'll play a little music, and when I'm done coloring, I will catch you back. Okay, coloring's all done. Now I didn't color the presents only because I thought we'd do some paper piecing with those. But I am going to fussy cut out the presents and the hedgehog. I know that Gerda Steiner does have coordinating dies to go with the set, and I'll list them down below. Nice thing about the Gerda Steiner Designs dies is that they're separated for you and they're on a magnetic sheet. So list those below. But in the meantime, after I fussy cut all 5 of my presents out and my hedgehog, I'm going to bring in some kind of marbly colored pattern paper. I was going for some soft rainbow colors, and I think these worked out perfect. I'll list the paper pad downstairs if you guys want to check it out. But I wanted to create a bright and cheery card, and I thought these would go perfect. The green one here is going to go for my background, but the rest of the colors, we're going to take that same present stamp in my Memento ink, and we're going to stamp on each one of these. Just, I'm not worried about the bow because we're just going to fussy cut out the present part, and then we're going to add that to our white presents here. Now when we do fussy cut these out, we're going to fussy cut all the way to the line, and you can use your basically any kind of black marker. I'm going to use my E79 marker, and I'm going to go around the edges of each one of my presents after I fussy cut them out. This just cleans up my lines. If you have any white area showing, it's going to make it look sharp, and then when you add it to your white stamped present, it's just going to make it look a little more cleaner. Okay, after we have this done, I thought about gluing it directly on my presents, and I put the glue aside and thought, you know, let's pop them up. Let's add a little dimension to these. I have a foam square that will fit right behind each one of my colored presents. So we're going to add foam square, and then we're just going to place it right on top. Love the dimension that this gives. I'm going to do that to the rest of my presents as well. After we have this done, we're just going to add it. They're all good to go. We're going to set these aside and work on our background for our card today. Now I'm bringing in a die set that has a frame, and then it also has like a lattice, a small lattice piece. I'm taking some cardstock, white cardstock, and I'm going to cut out a window with that lattice piece. And This is going to give me a real thick frame, but it's also going to give me that rectangle lattice piece to fit right in the middle of it. I'm also going to take this piece, this die will create a frame to go around that lattice piece, and I'm going to create a frame with white cardstock with that. So these are the two pieces I have. I did trim down my panel so it is just slightly smaller than my card base. The dies were a little bit on the longer side, and so I just basically my top and bottom are a little bit shorter than the sides, but that's okay. I think it's going to work out just fine. But here you can see how it's going to leave me a little bit of a border on my card base. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a little texture to this thick frame that we created using a wood grain embossing folder. I'm going to run that through my die cut machine so we have some a wood grain texture in the background. My frame's going to stay white, and so this is a nice way to add texture to a plain white frame. I'm going to trim down some of my green pattern paper, and this is going to go behind the lattice so we have a little bit of color on our cards. Just doesn't want to be white. I'm going to add adhesive behind my pattern paper, and then I can line it up behind my thick window, and then I can just place it on my card so I know that that pattern paper is right behind my window. And then I was going to pump up my frame with foam adhesive and changed my mind. I thought there was going to be a lot of dimension. This is going to go directly on my card base. So just using my tape runner, we're going to adhere this right over that green paper. And then we'll also take that little rectangle lattice piece, and I'm going to, you can use glue if you wanted, but my tape runner glides right over it without leaving that adhesive residue. So I'm just going to add tape behind it and adhere that right in the center. Love that little piece. Okay, we're going to take the frame. I am going to add a foam adhesive behind here. We want a little dimension on our frame. So I'm just trim down some thin strips. We'll put it around there, remove the release paper, and add that around our lattice piece. You can see a little bit of a white border on the inside of this, so I'm just trying to make it straight so it's balanced on all sides. Okay, next we're going to add foam adhesive behind our little hedgehog. He's going to go here, and then I thought it would be fun if we stacked the presents right next to the hedgehog. The nice thing about you adding the foam adhesive behind your pattern paper on those presents is you can kind of tuck them, and so that's what I did. I tucked them, and they kind of held their shape, which makes it nice because I can flip over the entire present stack and then add adhesive behind it without losing my position here. I think that's going to look playful and fun, and love the way that turned out. Now for my sentiment, I'm bringing in some craft cardstock here. I'm going to stamp thank you for the thoughtful gift with my hazelnut ink. It's dark brown ink. Stamping it again on my craft cardstock. We're stamping the secondary sentiment first. It's just easier for me to line up and center the top thank you one if I do this first. We'll stamp the thank you. And then after this is stamped, I'm going to bring in some oval dies, and I'm going to turn my oval die horizontal to create a arch, kind of like a hill for my hedgehog. And I think the second to the largest one here is going to work out perfect, and it'll go the width of my card base too. So I'll take that, tape this down here, making sure my sentiment is centered. Its sentiment is higher in that oval, but that's okay. I'm going to use my paper trimmer and trim it in half. Now we're just using the top oval piece, and I decided to take my LACY border dies, the thinner one. I cut some out with white cardstock, and then I trimmed my my scallop border here just to the stitch line, and then this is going to go directly on the bottom of my little hill here. Just going to glue it down. I did trim the excess off, and then we're going to add some foam adhesive to the left and right on our little hill, and then I did add foam adhesive on the bottom of my card base just so everything lays nice and flush. We'll adhere our little hill with our sentiment. This is a really nice sentiment set. I love that they have secondary sentiments that says for thinking of me, and then for the thoughtful gift. I just thought that was perfect. I don't have one of those and I like it. Okay, I added my hedgehog. Now here's where I just took all of my presents that were stacked. They're not glued together. They're just tucked inside each other. I carefully flipped it over, and then I'm going to just take some thin foam adhesive. I'm going to go the length of my present stack. And since I'm going to have a little bit of the presents on my heel, I'm going to add an extra piece of foam adhesive on the upper portion of the stack. This way, everything is nice and even. And we'll add our colorful little presents here. I think it looks so cute. Something about this little hedgehog that just makes me smile. Okay, I'm trying to make it so it looks like he's holding my presents, but I'm going to scoot him over just a little bit. And I think he looks fabulous. Okay, I am going to bring in my white gel pen, and I did do some faux stitching around the top of my heel, just to balance. There's a lot of white in my background, and this white gel pen is just going to help it. And I just love the look of faux stitching. I don't know what it is. I know my hillside already has stitch detail created with my die set, but I do like the white accent right around that hillside. I did accent a little highlights on my presents too. Okay, now I need a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to bring in some of my diamond stickles. Been loving this color lately, and I added polka dots to the very bottom. This one we're going to add vertical stripes. This one we're going to add horizontal stripes, and then we'll repeat with some polka dots and more stripes on the very top. But that is my card project today. I had so much fun creating. I need lots of thank you gifts because Christmas I was blessed. And actually in the stamp set there is a hashtag blessed, which I think is so fun too. But thank you for joining me, guys. Have a fabulous day. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.